This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
This is one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to design, our living spaces, our workspaces. It is all about color and trends. It's a moving target. It's interesting how sometimes some color trends stay for a few years. Sometimes they're here for a hot second and they're gone. What is trending now? Let's say you want to redesign your living space. What's going to have longevity with that in terms of the colors that you pick? She's got her finger on the pulse of that and so much more. As an amazing interior designer, love her work. See it very, very eloquently on her website. Diane Rosen is back with us. How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous, and thank you for having me again.
Thanks for being here. Now, I'm wondering, when we talk about color and trends, does it ever vary with the room, like a kitchen versus a bedroom versus a living room, or if it's a color trend, it transcends to all of those rooms?
Okay, that's a yes and no.
Okay.
Usually you'll have your main rooms, your kitchen, your dining area, so forth. The colors will meld into each other. And the bedroom is a completely different scope.
Okay.
So you want something very comfortable. But what I've come across is, we've talked briefly about this before, but Pantone has declared Cloud Dancer as the color of the year, which is really a shade of white.
It's almost a joke, and
Yeah.
in a way, it's like, what's the color of the year? What did they decide? This is the biggest color company for many decades. Pantone, what do you got? It's white.
Well, yes, as there are, because you can create any shade, any color you want today. That's
Right.
awesome. You can computer code it. But as I kind of jumped into that a little deeper, okay, what would they be compatible with? They have a complete palette of powdered pastels. So yes, you have color, but they're a much softer version. And then because I am part of the color marketing group, which is much more global, they have a completely different position on color.
Oh, okay.
And they are you familiar with them?
I am not, so I'm intrigued here.
It is global, and these various companies and experts from every continent connect about twice a year. Anyway, the bottom line on this is they have chosen a dark, low chroma purple that envelopes and protects, become the main European key color, for 2026. So I thought, we thought opposite sides of the color wheel. We have
Wow.
Cloud Dancer, which is a very pastel, soft, your colors can meld, but very gently. And the CMG group is going for, they actually give it a name, is, let me get to that one, is Protopia. Protopia is a key color described as profound, low chroma, red cast purple, designed to be grounded, protective, and calming shade that provides a more shield than spotlight feeling.
Interesting. Right. Oh, wow.
I love the complement to each one, because it depends on what you're working in, and this applies to both commercial and residential. And the interesting group with color marketing group is they do project, and their colors are a lot more on the commercial side. So industry, you may very well be seeing cars in more chroma, deep seated color. Interesting.
It really is, because now I'm seeing this in a different picture. In that, let's say you're redesigning the lobby of a hotel, you might be looking at these colors, the color marketing group, and what they're suggesting in terms of that shade of purple.
Uh-huh. Right. And
Mm.
there's complements and the palette is, cohesive with that also. So you're blending in shades thereof. But a color to me has always been one of my favorite things to play with. And it shapes how we feel, think, behave. It is science, how we respond
I
to
just brought up
color.
Protopia, and
Protopia.
yeah, when
Hmm.
you first said purple, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. How that's going to fly there. Um,
Uh-huh.
but it's
Yeah.
sort of I don't want to say plum, but a purpley plum. It's
Uh-huh.
actually a very nice color. Gotta
Yeah.
say. Hmm.
It's not they uh, discuss it as not to be loud or dominant, but considerate and tactful across product line and expected to be a statement hue in fashion and home decor.
Hmm. Now they attribute this one with Europe. It says
Uh-huh.
I'm noticing here that there's other the colors are different for, let's say, Asia, or the color
Correct.
might be different for Latin America. Um,
Correct.
but not being far from the expert, Protopia looks like you could actually use the color for Latin America, which is Mysterio Complexo, which is sort of a muted teal, but very rich, like the
Mm-hmm.
purple, like the
Mm-hmm.
Protopia. It looks like you could actually use both of those in a
Interesting how
project.
that will.
Do I?
Yes. It's interesting how as because every continent, I mean, even Australia is
Yeah,
part of this, and how they interpret and they wind up melding. So
gotcha. Yeah.
it just to kind of give you a brief, very brief uh, discussion about it, I thought that was fascinating.
Same.
Pantone is what is light, and Protopia is dark or darkish hue.
Hmm. It's when I look at these colors, and I know that many are listening to us by way of just audio, so we can't show you the colors. However,
Yeah.
um, I see that like color is everything. It
Oh,
really
yes.
like more and more when I'm looking at these colors and the richness, or even potentially the nonchalant pale cast that some of the colors may have. They all are making a statement. Doesn't mean that you're going to make your kitchen cabinets one of these colors, but you might use it as an accent somewhere within there, right?
Correct. Yes.
Hmm.
And I'm just thrilled that color is back because we had years of neutral, and which is
Hmm.
fine. Application to need is always there. Um, but stark steel gray um, gets a little tiresome.
Yeah, and it's I guess it's not to say that if you already have some of that color in your home, your workplace, the scheme, um, you can still add these colors to it because the
Yeah,
neutrals pretty much go with other stuff.
correct.
Hmm.
Correct. It's all about the shading
Yep.
and the intensity. So that's what makes it fascinating. It's not just, well, what should I put on my ceiling? Oh, it's always white. I never just put white on any ceiling. I use what they call a blush color, and that is a punch of whatever's on your wall. So it becomes a very more comfortable, and you walk in going, this is a good room I want to sit in or work in.
I've seen in the last year dark colors used on ceilings.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about that?
Completely depends on the size of the room, how much light you're
Hmm.
really needing and focusing. What's your intention? Because a dark color on a ceiling can really close in a room. If you want it to be cozy, just be careful. Same idea, you put dark on all of your walls. Okay, it'll close in that room, depending on the size. It's always about the scale, the size of the room,
Mm.
and how you want to intensify. But yeah, you just kind of have to balance. It's all about scale and balance.
What else can you tell us about color?
Endless. It is whatever you think it to be. How does how it shapes how we feel, think, behave in the space we inhabit. Are we're encouraged to use color. And just even as in a pillow, if everything else is kind of bland or neutral or too neutral, pop it with colors on a pillow, a blanket, um, a window shade, some kind of light treatment, window treatment. So much to complement.
I've heard that painting your walls should be the last thing you do.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's one of the last decisions
Okay.
to make. I wouldn't say, depending on the situation, have your color palette established with your fabrics, your furniture, your flooring, and lighting is part of that too. How do you want your lighting to affect, how you feel in the room? And then you'll be able to pull in the appropriate color you're after. One is integrated into the other. You want it to be comfortable.
And I guess it's the paint color should be considered last because you have so many choices, so many shades, whereby you might only have a few different color choices when it comes to the furniture, when it comes to the things that you're adding around it. But
Mhm,
you can do anything with the paint on the wall.
mhm.
Maybe I'm going to say it's endless, in terms of the
Yeah, it
shades.
is. It, it,
Mm.
it is to a degree. And if you're, you know, once all is said and established, you have a plan, you've got the correct people doing the painting, doing the lighting, whatever's needed. Yeah, you want your walls painted so that's done and finished before you put in the rest of your furniture.
Gotcha. Any other things you could share with us about color trends,
Well,
choosing
going
colors?
into more trends, this is interesting, I thought. Um, Outdoor furniture and in your home or even in an apartment or condo is becoming a given. It's a standard. Um, we are really, especially as time is just gotten a little bit more chaotic
Hmm.
for us, we need to be and feel the need to be outside. And it doesn't have to get complicated. It can be as comfortable as much space as you've got. One thing that I wanted to share with you is the top. Well, there's the hardest wood. If you're going to do a deck or even make furniture out of it, comes out of Australia. It is considered the hardest wood and best for outdoor furniture, docks, um, whatever you want to put and make to be outside. It's called IP, IPE. That's it. And it does not change color. It stays put. Your mechanics to whatever you're putting it, connecting it to, nails, screws, or whatever, may rust out first if you don't protect or cover it. But the wood itself is considered the best and the hardest
Wow.
and will not change in color.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
many
I
wood.
wish I knew that years ago, a house before the last one. Every every spring I would go out there, strip down the paint
Mhm,
from the deck and repaint it. It looked
mhm.
great every season. Oh my gosh, the work that was involved in that, power washing.
Exactly.
Oh,
If you want to paint, of course you can paint,
sure.
but the object of being outside and doing outdoor and relaxing and barbecuing and all that kind of stuff, um, this wood, it's a medium color. I don't have a color to show you. I don't have a sample, but it won't change over time. Southern, summer, winter, spring, fall, you're okay. I still
Hmm.
recommend covering it depending on what area you live in snow, ice, and everything can always do something, but it is considered the best. I thought that was kind of an interesting
Wow.
um, tidbit to add.
It's
And
amazing how
what I was,
materials are changing so fast.
oh
What's
yeah,
color fast materials that are used, for even outdoor furniture can
uh-huh.
last so much longer with strong UV rating. Uh, Diane, how do you decide when to follow a color trend versus something that's a little more timeless or traditional, if you will?
It's all about the client.
Hmm.
It is all about their vision. I do spend some, and I consider it quality time up front discussing what they're thinking of, what they've seen. What have you seen online that you like? It could be anything from a lamp to a rug to a chair. Discuss how do you what's your comfort level in your home? Do you have children? Do you have pets? How many pets? That's a big deal lately. Um, and if there's any disability, how can we help? How can I help create a room that is not only functional, but just as comfortable? So, if working in color, I literally ask, what's your favorite color? And doesn't be, you know why? Because regardless, we gravitate to it without even realizing it.
Hmm.
It's an interesting, uh, again, it's science and it's an interesting phenomenon. Now, you look and put different things on and you go, oh, I'll never wear hard yellow mustard or whatever color, but oh, I look good in green or blues or something like that. We gravitate to it and kind of go from that palette.
Have you experienced situations where a client will say, I want blue. Everything's got to be blue. I'm looking at blue here because that's what they know.
Hmm.
They may not know what it may look like to use a dark teal or another color. So you show them,
Uh-huh.
and they have these realizations like, oh, I never knew I liked teal. I'm always stuck on
Hmm.
blue. Does that
Hmm.
happen a lot too?
Occasionally. And I with women, they're pretty open. And men, they're much more fixated on usually one color.
Mm,
Um, Not a bad thing, especially if they look good in it. That's what they're drawn to. But there's multiple variations of shades of that. But it's my job, pretty much, to guide you and show you what else you could do. You can
mm,
still stay in blue,
right.
but there's a bazillion shades of blue. So let's play off one to the other.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fun to work at.
If you could look at a color that trended in another time, years ago, anything stand out for you that you'd like to see come back?
Hmm. And I could tell you a few that I choose not anymore to see,
Oh, let's hear
but
that too.
mauve. If
Hmm.
you're old enough to remember mauve, which was a mixture of kind of a deep pink into a gray,
Yes. Yes.
and it was endless. Um,
Yeah.
but favorite colors, I just love color, period. So it's in what combination can we make it work best for you?
Mauve. I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Uh-huh,
As I'm thinking about it,
uh-huh,
and it used to be blended with other colors along the way, like you might
uh-huh.
blend it with a taupe or another
Hmm.
color, but it was I'm seeing in my mind like why it was just boring. I don't know. There was like no excitement to it. It was just like, meh,
Exactly.
eh.
Yeah. Well, but what's interesting in trends, starting talking about trends, you know, thank goodness color is back. That's great. But
Mm,
so are small patterns. So is wallpaper.
okay.
Um, Even fabric. Fabric is coming back with a lot. We used to call them ditzy prints that were just tiny little, squares or flowers or combinations thereof. And yeah, I'm seeing a resurgence on a lot of that stuff. So what is also is um, animal prints are coming back quite a bit, and especially in fabrics and in pillows and not just your end chairs and sofas. So attractive, yes. Appropriate only in the correct spaces,
Yep.
I think. But that would be, my opinion on that one. But yeah, color is a phenomenal thing to work with, and usually wind up with a palette off of that main color. So what works on the sofa, then add interesting pillow. Um, it's interesting what Protopia, the color from Europe, the purplish
Hmm.
deep blue,
Yep.
they are using contrast as in yellows and shades of mustard and shades of orange as a complement. And again, the variation of that is endless, but it can be very comfortable and fun at the same
Mm.
time. Yeah,
Again, when you said that describe that like that deep
Protopia.
red kind of purpley kind, yeah,
Uh-huh.
Protopia. Thinking about it, I was like, I don't know what that's going to look like. And then when I looked it up, staring at that color right now, it's like, yeah, I could deal with that. I'd be all right with
Uh-huh.
that. But
Yeah.
there's so much you can do with that color too. Like you
Uh-huh.
said,
It's
with the yellow, the mustard.
actually quite neutral
Yes, maybe that's.
to a degree.
I'm not verbalizing it, but yes, that's that's really what it is. Because what is neutral? It can go with a lot of other colors.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's absolutely correct. I was going to say too, other trends. I kind of was working with a realtor, a friend of mine too. But I thought, I asked her, I said, what are people looking for in today's home? And people are wanting move-in ready. They want walkability in their neighborhood, both in city and suburbs. We're kind of, which I'm happy about. Yeah, we're getting back to our own trends.
Hmm.
And open floor plans are kind of out. Cozy spaces are back in. I found that interesting working with a young couple.
I do too. Um, and I'm trying to I try to look at the psychology of it. What's going on today, and maybe we want to just feel safe, and that's why we want these cozy little spots. And I think the other part of that too is there's a lot of changes within families now where you may have some of the kids in the family still or coming back to live, with mom and dad. So
Yeah.
that open space concept, well, they need their own space. So now the walls are coming up, going up, but in a positive way,
Uh-huh.
where somebody wants to hang out. Now we have a den as opposed to this open space thing, and
Right.
people can do their own thing within a family. I, I wondered if we could talk for an entire podcast about color, and we did,
Oh,
and we can probably keep going. We're out of time.
good. Okay.
Fascinating conversation. And thanks for. I never even heard of the color marketing group. Didn't even know
Oh,
that existed. So interesting.
it's worldwide, global.
Wow, Pantone, you're okay, but there's other things out there. Diane Rosen Interiors.com is how we find you.
Correct. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for today. Anybody looking to change up their living space, even want some advice on color, you're the go-to, and looking forward next time we get together.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.